Striking images from historic Trump and royals meeting. We're getting more pictures now from the moment Trump met the king and other senior royals in Windsor. Trump and king deep in conversation as coaches roll through Windsor. As the carriages make their way through the procession, Trump and the king can be seen leaning towards each other in conversation. Melania Trump can be seen speaking to Queen Camilla in the carriage behind. The national anthems of both countries are heard playing in the background. How the next few hours will unfold. Here's a quick recap of what just happened and what's to come. First, a royal welcome. We just saw Trump arrive at Windsor Castle with the First Lady, where the pair were greeted by the Prince and Princess of Wales. And another, King Charles and Queen Camilla, then welcomed the couple. Enter the royal coaches. The 6 of them are now taking part in a carriage procession through the grounds of Windsor towards the castle, passing through George IV Gate into Windsor Castle. More pomp. The carriages will then arrive at the quadrangle, Windsor Castle, and a British Army Guard of Honor will be ready for inspection. Even more pomp. Afterwards, the American and British national anthems will be performed by the massed band of the Grenadier Guards, Coldstream Guards, and Scots Guards. The King Charles and Trump will inspect the Guard of Honor. Finally, lunchtime. Once the ceremony in the quadrangle wraps up, they will move into the castle for a private lunch. Who's sharing a carriage with who? The Trumps, the King, Queen and Prince and Princess of Wales have just stepped into the royal carriages ahead of the procession. Here's a little more detail about the lavish coaches on display. Coach 1 first in the procession will be King Charles and President Trump, who are traveling in the Irish State Coach. Coach 2 next will be their respective wives, Queen Camilla and First Lady Melania Trump, together in the Scottish State Coach. Coach 3. In the next carriage in a semi-state landau model will be the Prince and Princess of Wales, joined by the U.S. Ambassador and his wife. Coach 4. Following them will be some of the most senior figures in Trump's administration, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Overseas Envoy Steve Witkoff, traveling in an Ascot Landau coach. Coach 5. Finally, a second Ascot Landau coach will carry senior assistants to the President and First Lady. For the second time, Donald Trump is greeted by a British monarch on a state visit. He shakes hands with King Charles, and the pair are now deep in conversation outside Windsor Castle. With the Prince of Wales, too. The First Lady, Queen and Princess of Wales are chatting in a separate group nearby. Trump arrives at Windsor Castle for royal meeting. We've just seen Donald Trump disembark from his helicopter, Marine One, alongside First Lady Melania Trump. The pair were greeted at Windsor Castle by the Prince and Princess of Wales, as planned. And with that, a day of pomp and ceremony begins. We will bring you all the latest here. Follow along by hitting watch live above. Trump's helicopter lands in Windsor. Marine One has landed in Windsor. We're watching and waiting for the President and First Lady to step out. Bands play as Windsor prepares for Trump's arrival. The scene from inside Windsor Castle, with bands playing as they make final preparations for the ceremonial greeting and troop inspection by the King and President Trump. The lawn looks so neat you could host Wimbledon down there. King and Queen arrive at Windsor for Trump meeting. We've just spotted King Charles and Queen Camilla for the first time today. They've taken their place at Windsor Castle ahead of Trump's arrival. Queen Camilla is wearing a vibrant sapphire blue dress, a matching coat by Fiona Clare, and a hat by Philip Treacy, as well as a sapphire and diamond brooch. U.S. delegation spotted outside Windsor Castle. A U.S. delegation has been spotted outside Windsor Castle. Among them are U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff. Trump's helicopter spotted over London. Our cameras have just picked up Marine One over London. You can see all the live pictures by pressing Watch Live at the top of this page. Military guards line up for Trump's Windsor procession. Donald Trump and his entourage are yet to leave London, but preparations are already well underway for his arrival in Windsor. Members of the Royal Navy Ceremonial Guard are already lining the route along which the coach procession will take place shortly. There's no sign of the president yet, so they may be standing there a while, and the weather isn't looking too balmy in Windsor. Queen Camilla to take part in the visit after illness. Queen Camilla had to miss the funeral of the Duchess of Kent on Tuesday because she was ill with acute sinusitis. But we're now hearing that she's recovered well and intends to play a full part in the U.S. state visit. where she'll be greeting the visitors alongside the king. The Queen is going to be in the carriage parade. The only change will be that the rainy weather means the carriage will be covered over. Windsor Castle surrounded by steel shield. A fortified barrier, dubbed the Steel Shield, has been set up around the perimeter of much of the grounds at Windsor Castle. Windsor has never seen security quite like this, despite playing host to countless dignitaries and heads of state over the years. Tourists and Trump fans arrive outside Windsor Castle. The crowd of people that have made the trip to Windsor, especially for the Trump visit, is starting to grow. I've spotted a man wearing a bright red "Make America Great Again" hat and a woman donning a flag reading, "Trump, Make America Great Again." As we reported earlier, police are out in force here, with regular patrols of officers wearing high-vis jackets. There are also a number of ambassadors for the royal borough, telling those gathered on the road opposite the castle that they won't be able to see any of Trump's state visit here today because it's all taking place within the castle walls. One tells me that there was a large demonstration here yesterday with people waving placards in protest at the visit. The Epstein scandal looming over both Trump and Starmer Donald Trump and Keir Starmer find themselves in the orbit of a seemingly endless controversy with one man at the center, Jeffrey Epstein. This state visit comes days after Starmer was forced to sack Peter Mandelson as the UK's ambassador to the US, when emails emerged showing the former cabinet minister was much closer to the convicted pedophile than previously known. The Prime Minister's critics say Mandelson's appointment cast doubt over his political judgment, and questions have been raised about what Starmer knew and when. Mandelson's links to Epstein were thrown back into the spotlight when U.S. lawmakers published a trove of documents, which included an alleged birthday book given to Epstein in 2003 to celebrate his 50th birthday. It includes a cryptic message accompanied by an explicit doodle, which carries a signature resembling Trump's. He emphatically denies authoring it, but its publication has fueled scrutiny over their well-documented relationship.